Maribel, hello. Dope, hello. ITZ, Khan, hello. Science Bob, Beck Sue, Zelda Gamer, Science Bob, Ease Bricks, welcome to the stream. Give me a moment, let me finish some of the setting ups. And I will be right with y'all. Grizz, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Okay. Can I see that War Machine minifigure? Yeah, in a bit. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Alright, give me a moment. Just gotta move some stuff around. Things like that. Put this in the streaming playlist. Done. I just finished Zane and Jay Gundam you made a week ago. Happy New Year, by the way. Oh, cheers, dope. I hope you liked it. Okay. Put this on 2x speed. Move it here. Alright, so I got a couple of things for Janverse. Trying to limit the amount of stuff that I get for Janverse. There's a bunch of like GWP, but very luckily for me this year, I don't care about any of them, kind of. So I'm just gonna wait. But there are a couple of stuff that I want to get right away just to work on. These two, which I think we'll be working on stream. Somebody asked earlier to see the minifigure. Here it is. There you go. It looks pretty good. This is the first time I've got something with this new helmet, and I've got to say it has confirmed what I've always known. I can't speak. It's confirmed what I've always known, which is that these new helmets are better than the old ones in basically every single way. I'm going to start collecting vintage Lego. If you've got the budget for it, go for it. I've got this and this, so that's that. This is great, but it is not as strong as I thought it would be, but I think that's okay. I'll see. I've got a couple of ideas of what to do with it. We'll see how it goes. These I think are pretty good. There are a couple of problems from last year that still remains because we still don't have good solutions for them. Number one is without like a wrist swivel or like a wrist ball, the weapon, especially like a long weapon like a sword or a hammer, is perpendicular to like the forearm, and so it's kind of in like a weird angle. Like you can't, like this feels a lot weirder than if you're able to point the sword or the hammer much further down. Like this especially, like when the hammer strikes like horizontally, it's like way back here, which feels like that defeats the purpose of having a long hammer. But yeah, I think they'll figure it out. These are pretty good. I think this is probably a better deal. Yeah. This little thing I actually quite like. I like that they're doing something unique, but I do think that it would look better if they just attach this hand like right here and not have this weird long arm thing. What's your next project? Probably, well, like my next project is probably this one. I hope I can finish this in like a week tops, and I just put it out. And I would still like to finish Toothless. Toothless is like one of the projects from last year that I want to finish like before Lunar New Year, because it is a dragon. It might be funny to finish it for Year of the Dragon. Which set would you recommend from the new Dragon Rising Wave? I've only got these two. They're pretty good if you like them. But they are just a big one of these. Oh, the other problem I have with them is a problem with that I've had with sort of like the ninjas for a million years, which is it's kind of hard to turn their head. Their cowl are such that the like you can't turn the cowl a lot, and also the head inside doesn't move with the cowl. I think I might be okay with something like this. just have like just give them like fake eyes outside like this, or like the Batman helmet or whatever. I think that's okay. But maybe people will revolt. Yeah, and especially for this mech, it's kind of sunken in. Like getting to the head is not that difficult, but it's a little annoying. Um, especially coming from this guy, which has a helmet which with a whole face, and you can just turn the head, and it just works. It just works. Um, are you going to combine two War Machine mechs? Because I'm thinking about it, and I might give it a go since I'm buying two anyways. Yeah, go for it. Don't let me deter you from doing something just because I might be doing it as well. Yeah, try your own version. It's always good to give a go at something, and if you are serious about it, it might be good to keep yourself spoiler free. Uh, and work on it sooner than later, and maybe try not to look at mine when mine is done, just to keep it fresh. But you can, if I finish this, which there's a real chance that I might not, there might be some interesting ideas in there for you to adapt as well. Please do pot it, Baby Groot. That might happen. There kind of is a thing that I'm doing that's kind of related, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Well, the reason I asked is because your designs are top notch. Oh, thank you, Easebricks. It's a lot of practice. We all gotta start somewhere. All right. First things first. I'm gonna have to take these apart now. These feel incredibly polished. These feel way better than the mechs last year, and if I'm correct, there was no price bump between the 3 last year and this one, and I'm pretty sure this one has more pieces than the other 3. This feels great. It feels filled out. It feels like they sort of like have had a year of working with the new pieces. Yeah, this is a thing that I would have expected to see much sooner, but I cannot recall where I might have been able to see it. I'm not sure if any of the Star Wars mech did this, but this looks great. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. My favorite build of yours I've gotten is Golden Dragon Lloyd. Yeah, I love that thing. I love that thing also just emotionally, because it came together really quickly and hassle-free. A lot of projects kind of like start out maybe exciting, and then it gets difficult and I get bored. And yeah, Golden Dragon Lloyd I finished in like a weekend. Well, maybe not a weekend, maybe a week. And it was just kind of smooth sailing from start to finish. Any chance you could mod the buildable Batman like you did the Iron Man? I did consider that. The problem with Batman is he has like a cape, and that cape is the thing that limits the size. Like, I can't make a bigger Batman because I don't really have a bigger cape to go with a bigger Batman. But it is on the table. I'm still, considering it. William, hello. I think it could be inspired by the Iron Man adventure design. Are we talking about this thing? I am unfamiliar with the Iron Man adventure design of War Machine. And inexplicably, this comes with a bunch of brackets, which is going to be very useful for me. That's one of the things that I was hoping for when I worked on the other 3, which is that I hoped we'd get more brackets so I can do more interesting stuff with the torso. Yeah. Yellow Scarf says yes. All right, I'll take your word for it. I might check that out later. Okay. I really should sort this before I, instead of just putting it in a pile. Like, I should sort it as I go, but, yeah. I'll do it later. It's fine. 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 Oh God. I was Pink Ice. Hello. I was planning for next year the other day, and I realized that even though I don't know what's going to happen in June or even March, for the most part, I kind of have my entire schedule filled out from projects from last year that I didn't finish. Um, and so it's kind of scary. I did less projects last year than I had done like the previous 2 years, but I feel like the Hulkbuster counts for 3 projects. Um, you were in Jang's stream last night, right? Yeah, I was in it for a bit. I came in and out. Um, I was around the time when he was like switching to um, Twitch streaming only, and I jumped to Twitch. I jumped to Twitch for a bit, and then I had to go. It's always nice to jump into Jang's stream. Yeah, Lloyd Mech is the best. I've been looking to buy the set to only do the alternate build. That is very high praise. I hope when you get around to it, that you enjoy it. It's always kind of scary to me to hear that people get stuff just to build my thing, and I always find it relieving when I realize that the comment is written after they've built my thing and they had a good time. Because the thing that I find kind of scary is someone might buy a set they wouldn't otherwise buy to make one of my builds and then have a bad time with it. Yeah. Trophies, hello. Big fan of your mocks, Baneland. I am going to make your Hainu Gundam and the Optimus ones to flesh out my mech army. Fantastic. The IDW Optimus is kinda janky. It's the Hainu and the IDW Optimus are very. I need to find a word to convey what I want to convey with those two, which is like I used a lot of those sets. Like there were not a lot of leftover when I was finished with the project. That also means that a lot of part of the project feels like it's missing parts and unfinished, and that's because I ran out of parts and I had to choose between compromises, and that's the best I could do with those. But I am still quite proud of those models, and if you're looking for a challenge, I think that they might have interesting stuff in them. Alright. I hope that dragon doesn't retire anytime soon. Has it been retired? Is this the new War Machine mech? Yes, it is. I almost feel kind of bad about like this feels. You know what this feels like? This feels like when I took apart like the Black Panther, which is like the Black Panther mech is actually really good, and in the end I couldn't do anything that I feel happy with, and so I didn't publish anything. Well, I live in the Balkans, so prices differ from place to place. Yeah. Wait, which Lloyd mech did you do an alt build for? I follow your Instagram and don't remember seeing Lloyd mech build. I don't. I haven't done any Lloyd mech. I think what they're referring to is the Golden Dragon Lloyd, which I made from like the 4-headed dragon thing. When are you coming up with a new mock design? When you're coming up with a new mock, what portion of the body do you start with, and how do you progress to the next step of the design? I just finished your Iron Man mock. Turned out amazing. Thank you. Cheers. Gadsden Purchase. Happy New Year, James Film Productions. Okay. So usually before I start on a project, like before I sit down and build, before I sit down and take apart the thing, I've built the thing once to familiarize myself with like what bricks it has, and my mind would just sort of wander and start working on it. And there are parts that it will figure out immediately and parts that it has ideas for. The portion that I start with is either the part where I have things that I already know I want to try, which isn't always the case. Like sometimes I have ideas for what to do with the arms and not with the legs, so I try the arms first. Or if it's something, or there are parts where it's really important to the model, and I feel like nailing it is the most important thing, because it would make or break the model. Then I would start with that. So something like the head or the torso, or like with the big Hulkbuster, like the shoulder, I feel is really important to get that shape right. Yeah, so I would start with those to make sure that I nail down like the most important shapes first. And or if I start a project with some articulation ideas, I would try to build, I would work on articulation design first. Yeah, I guess like that's not necessarily a very helpful answer. Like the answer is like I'll work on stuff that I know what to do with first. But what I know to do with first is different from project to project and kind of unpredictable sometimes. Um, hey, Libra X, Happy New Year to you too. I built your Dragon Samurai X and Golden Dragon mocks and reference your joint connections with my future Black Panther mech depending on size, scale, and stability. Very cool. If I get enough money, I will get the Hulkbuster and build it for the alternate because it looks so clean. Oh, thank you. I'm very proud of that model, but like people's experience with it do vary. Yeah. I feel that's one of those where okay, I'd like to think that a lot of my stuff I price quite reasonably. Actually, I price a lot of my stuff pretty cheaply. Part of it is that I want it to be like well, how should I say this? I want it part of it is sometimes I feel like, well, if you're unhappy with it, I don't want it to have costed so much. But the Hulkbuster is so big that doesn't really work because even if they're unhappy with the like $20 is not that big a deal, but like the thing is like $500 and they will still have spent $500. And the main build, especially for people who says that like they got it just from my build, yeah, this can be kind of scary. How many times do you think you'll be saying Happy New Year this stream? I have no idea. I'll say it, until I stop saying it. Let's say conservatively, actually, I don't know. People go in and out. I think, I don't know, maybe less than 10? I actually kind of think that like most of you are here already. Yeah. The only negative I have about your mocks is how much time it takes to build, but that's not your fault. That is true. I do. It is kind of interesting how, like, you know what? That's the other thing as well, which is that like people, there are a bunch of things that we take for granted now that I kind of think that it's interesting to see that people now really really miss it when it's not present anymore. Like numbered bags, which is a thing that was great when it was introduced, and then we kind of take it for granted now. And now when you have to build something that's 4,000 pieces without numbered bags, or even like a measly 1,000 pieces without numbered bags, is kind of a huge pain in the butt. I'm sorting this kind of slowly. It's alright, I can take my time. Let me move this in closer, just for my benefit. Cool, thanks so much for your response. Trophies, exactly. Do you ever sell Lego? When I'm sick of sets or don't display it, I sell it for money. I do. I try to sometimes. Sometimes like I get stuff for a project and then I have no time to work on the project and the time has passed. I'll sell it off. If it's big, sometimes I sell it off to make space. Yeah, and because like I am primarily working on alt builds now, like selling things off is not a like I don't have a collection to maintain and build up necessarily, because I'm not really doing like unconstrained builds, so I don't really need like a big collection of bricks. Um, when I find the time and space to do it, that might change. I'm definitely gonna build your most recent combo, as in it Jay's mech. That's as close as we'll get to a Lego Gundam. We'll see. It seems like Lego's opening their doors to a lot more, like IP partners and collaboration opportunities. We'll see. I'm very surprised by Lego Twilight. I was. It's kind of odd to me that they didn't just do that as like an architecture set and just do that exact house. Um, I am curious sometimes about the finances of it. That calculation behind the scene. But it's the sort of stuff that unless I get hired, I'll never know. It took me about 9 hours nonstop to build Zane and Jay Gundam. Nice. That sounds about right. I think it takes me like 2-3 hours to build one. Does it? Actually, no. Doesn't it take more? I actually don't remember now. My very first stream ever, like kind of like a test stream, I built the Firestone mech. So if somebody can go help me check how long that took, that'd be great. I agree with your thoughts on Hulkbuster. So many A4s I know snagged it while it was on sale because of your old builds and prefer it over your official build. Nice. I am very glad that people generally have a good time with it. I do think that like it is a bit more demanding than the official build. But I did kind of know and was prepared for the fact that this will be a lot of people's first ever experience with like a fan model in a very very long time, maybe ever. And so yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I was, yeah, it's relieving. And then I'm glad that those things are moving off of shelves. I hope that the powers that be think of it, favorably. You should do an alt build of the ATT. I've seen only one with instructions, so options would be good. I'm not a big Star Wars person, but I will put that under consideration. What is Twilight, anyways? It's this series of books and movies about a romance between a vampire and a lady, I think. That feels like a good summary of what that is. Did you ever do a mock on Lego Dreams? I have plans. I'm still working on that Toothless, which some of you might have caught on stream. The new like wings for the villain faction makes for pretty good, Toothless wings, barring the fact that they are barring. What am I talking about? All things considered, like it's a lot cheaper and more readily available than the pure black ones. So yeah. Emilio, Ayo Ransom, how are you, brother? I'm doing okay. What are you building? I am working on the War Machine mech combination thingy. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, no Star Wars? Not no Star Wars at all. Just, not high up on my priority. Do you plan to maybe do Sonic Shaft? Sonic Staff? We had Robotnik mech and now Knuckles mech. Oh, I have no plans for Sonic yet. Those things look interesting to me, but yeah, I I I I I kind of really want those sets, and I don't know why I haven't gotten any. I think I keep waiting for sales, and then it comes and go, and then I just think I'll get it next sale, and then I just never actually do it. Um, cool idea if you want to try, but there's a YouTuber I watch and has a series where he upgrades fan mech. Would you consider doing that? Are we talking about? Oh God, I don't. Okay, I am mildly. I think I might be mildly dyslexic. Sometimes like there are names that I sort of like I would see it and I recognize the shape, but I kind of never pronounce it in my mind, and so I don't really know how to say it. And then I realized that I don't know how to spell it either. So it's like it. Are we talking about like Mashima Productions? I know he upgrades his son's mechs, which I think is like a really fun series. I always look forward to seeing those. Um, Upgrading fan models seems like a fun thing, but like as it is, I'm kind of like I'm packed. I've got no space. Um, yeah. And in order for me to do those sort of builds, I would need to like have an organized collection of bricks, which I do not. Yeah. Manisha Productions, yeah. Mashima, Manisha, him, yes. Like, okay, we're thinking of the same guy. I just don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, I always love those videos. Um, but making them require me like require logistics that I kind of don't have time for at the moment. Yeah, I did think about like I have been, you know, it seems like people really want more audience interaction, and I did consider sort of like maybe hosting a contest, but I kind of have like no good ideas for what like the reward might be. And also if I'm being honest, I don't know if I'm at a size where I would get like a number of submissions that wouldn't be embarrassing. And so I'm holding off on hosting a competition until you know, I have better like logistics in place. If this looks just as great as your two Iron Man Max combination build, I'll definitely be buying two of these and building this. Good luck. Oh, thanks. Luck. Luck. It's kind of weird to think about luck in the context of what I do, because in some ways I know that it's, you know, like there are no other factors than just me and the set. But it does feel like there's a bunch of things outside my control, even though like technically like what it really is that it's unpredictable, and not necessarily, you know, dependent on factors I cannot control. Yeah. Like if a thing is hard, it will always have been hard. It's not like if the rain is right, then things will work out. Money. Alternate build for Lloyd's Titan mech. That is on the list. That's actually quite high up on my priorities to do something with that Lloyd mech, because I've got like a bunch of ideas for like articulation design that I want to try with that. Yeah. This War Machine combo mech will be like mini War Machine Hulkbuster. Only piece missing is the dome. I suppose so. This head is really okay. One of the nice things about this helmet as well, I think this looks good. I think this looks good like alone. I don't think this looks bad, but like, the big head actually makes it like much easier to build like a sort of mech around it and not have it look ridiculous, or you know, like work too hard on nailing the proportions right. Any character specific mech you would like to see in Lego? Let me think. It's dependent on what else is out, I guess. I would like opportunities to do combinations and stuff. And there are some minifigures I would like to get. You know what I would like to get? If we can't, like, can we, like, I feel like there are, this is the thing that's fascinating. I think, okay, let's talk about Andrew Garfield for a second. I think that the rights to Andrew Garfield's likeness is being held pretty tightly, for reasons that I don't know. But I have guesses. You know, it seems like he didn't particularly have a good time with how like his movies turn out, which, you know, I don't blame him. Like, there seems to be a lot of meddling and like, yeah. And I don't know if those things are related. But Lego's able to put in like a human Spider-Man head for that character. So the Lego likeness seemed to be kind of orthogonal. It's kind of like it's not directly related to the actual likeness. Where I'm going with all of this is I would love to see the entire cast of Spider-Verse in any ways. So if they can put them all in Max, that's great too, alright? Or in a set or whatever, right? Those specific models. Or even PS4 Spider-Man. That'd be great. God. Do an alternate build for each Titan mech which turns them into dragons. I do have plans to get around to all of them eventually. Yeah, that would be smooth. Yeah, it's a great minifigure. Oh my god, Groot. Rocket combo mech. Oh no no no, yes. Do you do an alternate build for a Lego shoe into a different kind of shoe? I wonder how that shoe did. I kind of I saw it being like I saw it around for a while and then suddenly kind of overnight it disappears. I think that thing might have been recalled. uh yeah. Alright, so what do I want to do with this? Alright. This is what I wanted to do. Oh, okay. Ooh. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Alright. This. This. This is what I wanted to try. Okay. That. And then here's the thing, there's no mechanism to like, oh, I can just make sure that this locked tightly to the back and I can bracket this from here, I think. Yep. And that used up all of those brackets, I think. Oh no, I still have more. That's fantastic. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's put War Machine inside because there's nothing else to do with that. I would honestly love a Spider-Man 2099 Symbiote Spider-Man mech. Yeah. There was one War Machine bigger set with a dome piece. Maybe someone will try putting it on your combo mech. Maybe. We'll see how that turns out. Turn it into a Jordan. I'm not a big shoe guy. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I think it might be better for me if we have some upwards bracket, which we have none. Oh my god. I have a bunch of brackets and they're all downward brackets. Alright, that's not necessarily a bad thing. We can work with this. Alright, I want the shoulders to be here and I want this to be a shoulder. Or this doesn't have to be the shoulder. This can just be, you know, itself. Alright, and the shoulder will be back here. And how do I mount the shoulder? Okay, alright. We can figure this out. We can work this out. Work it. We can't work this out. Alright, okay, let me set the torso aside for a second and try this thing that I wanted to try with the legs. I'm about to build an alternate build for Eggman's mech from Sonic. Well, go for it. I'd love to see how that turns out. No shoe, bro, walk in the dark hanging out, bruh. I have no idea what that meant. Offhand, would you say the leaked Kai's climbing mech could be reworked into a Gundam Epion-esque mock? Here's the thing about the Epions. I kind of think that unlike the Hainu, like, I cannot cheat around those wings. And those wings are going to be heavy. And, yeah. What am I going to do with those wings? And I kind of think that, like, at that point, I might as well just make an original mech. Yeah. And that's my opinion on if I might do an Epion, which is that I think I might as well, I can do something that's sort of like Epion inspired, I guess. Give me a moment. I have to handle something. So just wait for me for a minute. All right, we're gonna have to end this. Oh my god. Um. I had something pop up, and now I have to go. Uh. All right. Thanks for joining me, everyone. We're going to have to end the stream here. Uh. Hopefully, I can get this done before Lunar New Year. All right. See you, everyone.